Hello and welcome to Man Met Matchday Live. You can just see the players are walking in behind me. Welcome to Platt Lane, and I'll be your host, Tom Markham, for today. It's MMU versus Salford in the local derby game for the 1 o'clock kickoff. Our reporter Ed Tucker caught up with Gareth and starman Tom Carr. Here's what he had.
Hi, I'm Ed Tucker and I'm here with Gareth Smith, head of MMU football. Gareth, last time out you beat Chester 6-1. How are you feeling after that game?
Yeah, really confident going into the first 2 league games of the season. We're not too sure what to expect in terms of standard of the league, but we've dealt with the kind of the test that's been put in front of us really well, shown that kind of clinical edge that we've wanted to the last couple of years. It's sometimes been lacking. Just defensively now we know that we're going to come up against better tests. This Wednesday being probably one example where we're probably going to be tested more often in the quality that they've got, and we need to be better at being able to cope with that.
Mark Vafflick, Tom Carr, braces in the last game. Ben Coward got one as well. How important is that front three for you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's really important, especially now they're all thrive off the confidence. They are confidence players, but allowing them in the way that we play, allowing them that freedom to kind of interlink, to move out of their kind of slots every so often, find those pockets of space. I think you can just see that confidence growing, and understanding that they've taken from playing together all of last year. You can see they've just brought that into this season. Kind of with the addition of Gabriel, who's a fresher coming in and playing just behind him, you've got 4 really good quality players who keep hold of the ball well, but most importantly want to go and score, want to go and make a difference in a game, which at the level that we're playing at, we need more than just 1s and 2s. If we've got 4 players doing it, it does help us.
Of course. Obviously, a 6-all win's pretty resounding, but was there anything particular from that game that you wanted to look at to improve for the rest of the season? Yeah,
so I think we've done a bit of work. So last week we did a bit of analysis work. Obviously, we film all the games, we've looked back at it. It's more securing, kind of getting a better shape behind the ball so we can keep the attacks going for a little bit longer. So we're very good at getting final third entries. The majority of time that we get the ball into the middle third, we then progress it into the final third. It's then what we do with it when we're there. If we can't quite get that shot off, can't get a delivery into the box, we're not particularly good behind the ball at securing it. Partly that's me in go and commit more bodies forwards, get 6-7 people into the box when we possibly can, or attacking around the edge of it. It's now having that balance of being able to go, right, we need to drop people off a little bit, we need to get into a bit of a shape behind the ball, so hopefully it comes out the box, we can secure it, we can then recycle the attack somewhere else. I think if we do that for the remainder of the season, then we're going to be in a really, really strong position. The 2 goals that we conceded so far in the league have both come from those situations where it's our attack, we're attacking well, we're getting bodies into the box, we're running around it, then all of a sudden it's that right transition moment that we haven't quite adjusted, but that's something that we'll look to work on again tonight, ready for Wednesday, but we've already touched on in the analysis room.
Cool. Last question for you. MMU v Salford, Manchester derby, how are the players and yourself feeling for that?
Yeah, I think we're confident going into it. Obviously the start that we've had is probably better than anybody expected. I think last time we played Salford was probably 4 years ago. They got back-to-back promotions. That's something that we want to kind of emulate going into this season, is can we get ourselves into that next level where we think we deserve to be there in terms of how we play, in terms of how we've done over the past 2-3 years. We've now got to show it. We've shown it in 2 games, but there's another 8 to go in the league that we need to kind of keep this momentum going. We don't want that to stop. We don't want to get complacent with things. But as you can hear in the background now, the environment's really, really good. It's a happy place to be at the moment. Everybody wants to play. I think that's a good thing, that there's a bit of pressure going on from behind of, I want to start, I want to do this. So it's a good pressure that we've got at the moment, but hopefully we can maintain that momentum and take it into Wednesday.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Good luck for the
Thanks
game.
very much.
I'm here with Tom Carr, main man at the moment for MMU, top striker. You've got 5 goals so far this season. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Obviously we've got us a good start. Can't really ask for much more. Obviously we've won all our games, we've been scoring a lot of goals, not just me, everyone, so yeah, I can't really complain.
Yeah, that front 3 of you, Mark Vafflick and Ben Coward, is pretty lethal. How does it feel playing with those 2 by you as well?
Well, good obviously, because we've got I think we're all quite different in different ways, I think, and we complement each other. I think obviously Ben's obviously got a lot of speed and can get balls in the box, and Mark can beat a man and put it in the top corner, so obviously we've got a variety, which is good.
You hoping to add your goal tally on Wednesday then?
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, just take every game as it comes, but I'm obviously trying to score personally as much as I can, and if the chances come, hopefully I take them. So yeah.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Cheers,
guys. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm joined by Ed Tucker. How do you think the conditions will fare out today, Ed?
Yeah, any high balls definitely struggle out here. It's pretty windy. It's very cold as well, so any heavy tackles are going to leave people very sore.
So you caught up with Gareth and Tom in the midweek. How do you reckon they'll go on today?
It's a different game today, I think. I think their first 2 games they've got not surprising results. They've deserved them, a 3-1 win and a 6-1 win, but they're maybe easier than they were expecting. I think today's a different challenge. I think it's a lot harder against Salford. They've got a few guys who are kind of semi-pro level, so it's going to be tough. Gareth, obviously their front 3 is incredible at the moment. Tom Carr, Mark Faflick and Ben Coward. But I think he's quite keen today to get that defensive shape a bit better. Maybe not concede any sloppy goals while still trying to get as many people in the box as possible.
Last time out on Matchday Live, we saw Tom score a hat-trick. Do you reckon he might be able to get one today?
I mean, I'm sure he can get one, knowing what he's been like this season. He got 2 against Chester as well, so I wouldn't put anything past him, but I think today will be a harder game. But if he can get one, someone else can get one, and they can be solid at the back, I think they've got a good chance of winning.
So, Salford 4-0 defeat in the last game. Do you reckon they'll be able to put up a better performance today?
Yeah, I think if anything, that could be more dangerous for an opponent. You know, when you come off a bad loss, sometimes that can G you up a bit more to like really go out the next game, and you could see a bit more intensity from them potentially. But I think if MMU play their game, I know that Gareth has a game plan every time, and I think they have a good chance if they stick to it.
Zach Curtis, the number 7 for Salford, ex-Main Road player. Do you reckon he might be effective for Salford today?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of a few players I think they've got that are really good. So I wouldn't put it past any of them to have a good performance. And it's tough, you know, on the day you can have the star men not show up and you can have the more steady Eddies in the team have an amazing game. So we'll have to wait and see. Hope MMU can play well. I mean, we hope for a good game either way, whichever the result is, as long as it's entertaining for us and everyone at home, then that's a good game.
Yeah, the Salford team are just not making their way out now onto the pitch. So I'll throw you over to our commentary team, Callum Scott and Joe Ward.
Cheers Ed and cheers Tom, welcome back to Platt Lane for this Derby Day fixture between MMU and Salford. I'm Callum Scott, joined by Joe Ward on the commentary team. Joe, what are we thinking for today?
I'm hoping it's going to be a typical Manchester derby, just in the way it's typical Manchester weather by the looks of things. It looks pretty windy out there. Likely to maybe affect the game, we'll see. But no, I'm hoping for a solid match between 2 good teams. Manchester Met go into this game top of the division with 2 games unbeaten. Salford go into it with a win in their first game and a loss in their second. What are your thoughts on the game, Callum?
I'm looking forward to it. I think the weather will play quite a big part because both of these sides enjoy the aerial game, but you know that will be affected by the wind. And we're going to take you through the starting lineups now. So for Manchester Met, in goal is Prince Osei. A back 4 of Dom Robinson, Joel McKenna, Ollie Hitchcox and Harris Thomas. A midfield 2 of Nathan Baker and Alex Hallchurch. And up top, Mark Faflick, Gabe Mooney, Ben Coward and the man on his own up top, Tom Carr.
And for Salford, it's looking like Alan Davey in goal with a back 5 of Manny Etri, Joe Gordon, Jonathan Kraku, Steve Catcher, Alex Kerslake, with 2 holding midfielders of Hayden Knowles and Adam Abuhab, with an attacking midfielder in Zach Curtis, who's already been named as one of the players to look out for today, and the 2 strikers of Des Amafule and Leke Azabode.
And you can just see already the camera is shaking because of the wind, so I think it will play its part out there. But I'm looking forward to seeing how these 2 sides go at each other, because obviously Salford, something of a point to prove. Last time out against UCFB on the wrong end of a 4-0 scoreline, so I think they'll go out with a bit between their teeth, and MMU will have to sort of, especially in the early stages, try and just hold the line and break when they can.
Definitely, I think MMU have certainly surprised me in the way that they've entered this division. They were promoted last season from Tier 3 of the Men's Northern LD Bucs League in an unbeaten season where they really just dominated every single team that they played. And I was thinking maybe they might struggle with the step up, but by the looks of things, they've just adapted to the league really well. I know there was a couple of teams that they played last season in the cup, one of which they were knocked out by. But yeah, they've seemed to really adapt well to the new division.
Yeah, and I think it's in no small part due to players like Tom Carr. At the minute, he's banging in the goals. He's the talisman for the side, and I think we'll see more of him today, and I certainly hope we do anyway.
I hope we do as well. He's been in brilliant form, as he was last season. And yeah, there's a lot of players out on that pitch today, particularly for MMU, that have just got bags of experience under their belt, playing for the university team. A few left last season, but the majority of that team is exactly how they lined up last year, which is a real compliment to Gareth and how he's trained them. But looking like we're a few minutes away from kickoff now.
Worth mentioning that the Salford team are out in their pre-match huddle, and the Manchester Met side haven't yet emerged onto the field, so the referee stands alone in the centre circle waiting for the action to start, but can't start with just one team.
I hope not anyway, otherwise it looks like it'll be an easy win for Salford today. No, but yeah, they'll be prepping themselves up in that change room. I know what the lads are like. They're a good group of lads. They get on with each other well, and they'll definitely be motivating each other to win today. And I think the occasion of it being a bit of a derby might play a bit of a part in how they approach the game. Maybe it'll be a bit more cagey to begin with. But we can already see here, the referee's tried to put the ball on the centre spot about 5 times here, and it's
rolling away.
It's rolling away. We're quite exposed here at Platt Lane.
And here come the MMU side. They, of course, line up in their usual home strip of blue shirt with orange trim, blue shorts, blue socks, and Salford in a more navy blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks.
I've got to say, Callum, I'm quite surprised that MMU haven't gone for the white kit,
The
really.
white two-tone,
It does seem like there's a bit of a clash of colours here.
Certainly interesting, and I think, they would have been much better to go with the white alternate kit. But
So the two captains now talking to the referee before the match goes ahead.
See who wins the toss.
That's
think.
it's Nathan Baker, captain for MMU, who's a very consistent player last season for them and looks to be the same this year. Stepped into the captaincy role quite well so far.
And the referee readies the teams for kick-off here, with MMU just going through their final preparations before we get underway. And it seems as though MMU will be shooting towards our left-hand side and Salford towards the right.
Be interesting to note as well, the direction of wind here looks to be in MMU's favour for this first half. And they'll be hoping to capitalise on that. They've got a few players that can strike a ball, so
I do expect to see some long balls sort of floated in from the back line up towards the top.
most certainly. A few seconds away from kick-off here. We might be having a few technical difficulties, sorry about that, but we are underway here at Platt Lane, and Salford kick us off in this Manchester derby.
It's a long ball, searching ball, finds the number 9 there, who plays it back safely into his defence. It's a searching ball over the top.
Easily dealt with by Prince Asia there in goal.
He plays a throw out, but it strikes the hand there of the MMU man. Or did it go out of play?
I think it was a handball.
It was a handball,
yeah.
Yes it was.
Maybe a few signs of nervousness there. Or maybe that's got something to do with the weather, who knows. But a free kick for Salford.
In quite a threatening position as well, but obviously against the wind. So he might have to put a little bit more power on this than he normally would do.
Yeah, I think they're going to struggle in this first half, particularly with set pieces. Ball comes in here. It's headed away, well dealt with by MMU.
They struggle to clear it well enough though, and Salford now in a position to get a
Great
ball
ball
across
in.
the face. But nobody on the end to capitalise, and MMU play it out for it takes a deflection and is an MMU throw.
MMU have got to be careful with that, giving the ball away in that sort of position. He was allowed a lot of space on the left there, but
and it was a wicked ball across the face of goal.
yeah.
You know, it was just asking for a foot, any sort of touch on that, and it's in the back of the net.
So we're approaching 2 minutes into the first half of this match. If you're just joining us, it's 0-0. The match between MMU First and Salford First has just got underway.
And MMU playing quite a dangerous game here, trying to play the ball out from the back. But I think that may be the tactic today, to try and keep the ball on the floor for as long as possible as a long searching ball is played up.
Ben Coward's
near
getting on the end of it.
Has he got his man there? He
He
does.
has.
That's excellent
Brilliant
work.
play from Ben Coward into
Gus Fetchner over the bar.
Brilliant chance there for MMU.
That was excellent work down this near side there as he took on his man, and it looked for a moment that he hadn't come away with the ball, but he does. Gets an excellent ball in, and the final ball is just blazed over the bar. But good. MMU's first real chance there, you could say.
It was, yeah. Mark Vaflick with the shot there over the bar. Just couldn't quite get his body over the top of the ball there, but good stuff from MMU.
And they win a header in the midfield.
It's Mark Vaflick. It's the feet of Ben Coward. It's a great ball through.
Ball through, really good on. It's cleared away and out for a throw in the attacking third for MMU.
Just couldn't quite get on the end of that one.
No, and it was a good one across the face, but yeah, I think this will be the theme for the game now. I'd say MMU with the searching balls and Salford trying to hit them
on the counter. By the looks of things, yeah, they are known to control possession really well. MMU.
They are camped quite deep as MMU gather a loose ball there, plays across and just too high for the lone man up top there, Tom Carr.
It's a bit of a mixture between a cross and a shot there.
It was, I'm not sure
what it was, but either way it didn't reach its intended purpose.
No, and I think once again there's going to be a lot of stray long balls today. The both sides will have to contend with. The keeper plays a long ball now, immediately gathered by MMU, and
well
can they break
MMU.
now?
Tom Carr on the ball, holding it up well, using his strength.
And he's held that up really well, and it's gone for a throw to MMU, so excellent work there to shield the ball.
Cal, we're approaching 5 minutes. What's been your take on the first 5?
It's certainly been MMU's game to have. You know, they've really been in control, especially they let Salford sort of play keep ball for the first minute and a half, and then they've got into their rhythm as Salford come away with the ball.
Wow, it's a great ball.
It's a great ball through, but
Offside.
is he offside? According to the referee, he is. I'm not sure, you know. I think that was an excellent ball played through.
It's a tight call, and it's by the looks of things going to be pretty difficult for the referee, who's really left on his own to decide these offside decisions.
Yeah, no obvious linesman there, apart from the referee who's having to do 3 jobs at once.
Great play by Ben Coward, great feet.
And he's looped a ball over the top. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it was an excellent bit of skill. And the
Excellent ball in.
Ball comes in. It was searching for a head to get on the end of it, but
Out to Faflick. And it back to the defence. John McKenna. Back out to Faflick. Excellent ball in. I mean, you really threatening early on here. It's Dom Robinson.
short ball back again. As he's still
Done
come
well
away
to
with the
win that.
ball, and he charges inside the box here. Looks to play the ball across, but it's a good block from Salford, and it's
They
a
haven't cleared
weak
it well, have they?
clearance. Really, really poor
Might have a shot here.
clearance.
He's played it out wide.
Flushes it out wide, and that's
I just couldn't quite get the bend on that. That might have something to do with the wind. It's really playing its part, isn't it? Really playing its part. I'm sure you can see by the images here.
and the fact that they're playing the long ball out the side, and Salford really struggled there to get rid of that ball. That was a brilliant chance for MMU, and they are causing all the problems here early on.
They are. Salford with the long throw.
Headed
Back
down
on.
by MMU, who now drive at the Salford defence once again.
Brilliant run by Ben Coward. He's so quick.
It's a corner to MMU there. And I'd be interested to see how they line up for the corner, because I'm not sure in terms of, they're two fairly evenly matched sides in terms of height. So there's no clear target man.
No. Looks as if they're going to take a short one here, and they have. It's back out to Ben Coward.
The return ball wasn't good enough, and now Salford come away with the ball. And he'll be looking for an option which he hasn't found. And I'm very lucky there, because if it had found its intended target, it would have been away. And it could have been a really, really good breakaway situation for Salford, but not to be.
It's Joe McKenna, the centre-back, if I believe so. He's pushing all the way up, and he's put a brilliant ball in.
And it come off the post there. As a rebound from an attempted clearance by the defender, the ball comes off the post, and luckily for him, it came off the post and back out to him, so he could get his clearance spot on the next time.
Yeah, that post really saving him from some embarrassment there, but it's a great ball through from Faflick.
Good shielding from the number 4 for Salford there. Draws the foul and takes all the pressure off that back line for the moment anyway.
I've got to say, brilliant work from Joel McKenna, the centre-back. Getting that high up the pitch and putting that ball in, it's really brave of him to get himself that far up the pitch and add to the attack, but that's something that he's got in his locker.
I think that's something that the coach Gareth wants from his players, to be able to stick to their roles when they're needed, but when they can push forward, they're allowed to push forward. And it's something that's brought MMU some good success, especially recently.
Definitely.
A lot of instruction being given out on that field.
I think Gareth will be quietly confident of his team today.
And I think he'll be pleased with how they've started the game. They've not taken the chances as well as he might like, but they have been there creating them. And that looked like a handball to me there in the middle of the park, but not given by the referee.
Salford looking for a ball over the top there, but it's well dealt with by MMU. He's come out to the midfield, and it looks like Nathan Baker
That's
on the ball.
That's a brilliant turn there to get away from his man, that number 9. Just dropped the shoulder and away he went.
Back into the captain, Nathan Baker, who's found the feet of Tom Carr, who's manages to get out of his feet. Looked for Ben Coward, but
a little bit too much on that.
A bit too much,
to trouble the back line as they now try and take it out from that corner flag. And every time Salford try and take the ball away, they either play a stray loose, long ball, or they get caught in their feet. And it's only due to MMU mistakes that Salford aren't 1-0 down here already.
Indeed, and as we approach the 10th minute mark, if you are just joining us, it's 0-0 between MMU and Salford. It's been a it's been a good first 10 minutes, to be honest with you. MMU definitely the side looking more threatening, but they are leaving gaps open at the back.
You do get the feeling that if they don't start taking some of these chances soon, they will be made to pay, as Osei, the goalkeeper, has to come out scrambling from his goal to get on the end of a loose ball.
Very brave of him there.
Stop a Salford attack. That's what you want from a goalkeeper, though. You want him diving at the feet, and he needed to make that challenge.
Great ball out
another
wide.
Good ball is played.
A lot of the play coming down the left-hand side here with Ben Coward. He's managed to get past his man. He's played it out to Faflick.
He's got an option there, but caught him on the turn, and he just couldn't sort out his feet in time to get on the end of it. But that, again, a good move from MMU down this near side. They just need to make it stick.
Yeah, and I think it will come with persistence. They have to keep trying it. Those chances will come, and when they've got a striker like Tom Carr, who can quite clearly put away any chances, then they'll be feeling pretty confident.
I'd say that this is a good spell now for Salford on the break, as
It's gone for
the MMU defence looked all at 6s and 7s there. They didn't pick up their man, and then Salford got numbers up together, and they were sort of lost position. It's a Salford throw on the far side.
Thrown back towards some 3.
Shield the ball there.
It's a great pass.
Lost out, and Tom Carr nearly in. He just couldn't get the touch.
I think so far, by the look of things, Tom Carr might have the beating of those two defenders. Not yet been given an opportunity really to run at them, but I'm sure he will have plenty of opportunities as the match goes on.
And MMU there blocking a long ball from Salford.
John McKenna going to the touchline for what looks like a puff of inhaler by the looks of things.
I thought he was giving him tactical notes there, but
We
no,
saw two
it was
different things,
just an
Cal.
inhaler. As the ball is over the top and the MMU defence goes out, but and I would say that is a Salford ball.
I think the referee has got a really difficult job on his hands today. I think it will be a physical game as it progresses, but you know, having to also call these offsides is going to be a busy man today.
He is indeed. And as if they don't get enough stick already, he's got 3 other jobs to be doing.
I mean, you playing it out the back here, somewhat of a signature move by them, really.
They are keen, I think, as the referee waves away the appeals for a foul there on MMU as they try and get the ball away. But I think MMU are keen to try and keep the ball on the deck as much as possible.
It's Ben Coward now.
That run, that's
going straight past him every time, and he's into the box.
It's across the face, but he couldn't get somebody on the end of it, and it's half cleared again by Salford. They are not getting the ball out well enough when they're under pressure, and it's just leading to more chances for MMU to take the lead, which they really should have by now.
Out wide to Ben Coward again, getting on the ball quite a lot in
calls for offside
opening
there.
15 minutes. So throw in for MMU and an opportunity to get a long throw into the box here. Some interesting points to note for MMU. They go into today's game now unbeaten in 20 games in the league over the last 3 seasons. And I don't know if you won for statistics, Cal, but I've worked out that's 1,800 minutes of football. Wow. They are unbeaten in the league. That's
that is something else, isn't it? I wouldn't say I'm normally a man for statistics, but that one, yeah, I like that one.
Thanks for that, Cal.
No worries.
30 hours of football, to put it into another perspective. It is incredible. I mean, over 3 seasons, you know, last season completely unbeaten. Unbeaten so far this year as well. They really are a force to be reckoned with.
And it appears today is no exception. They've had the better of the chances, the better of the ball. That final touch has eluded them, but Salford haven't looked like troubling Princess A more than once, I'd say.
I think you're right.
And that's the commentator's
great
curse.
ball, though.
There's the commentator's curse, but I think he was offside.
Gone for the effort anyway, and he missed.
And he missed. If there was a crowd here, they'd be saying way.
There are a few people coming down to watch today by the looks of things. Mainly most on the MMU side by the looks of it, but we have been known to see some quite large gatherings of crowd here at Platt Lane, to be honest with you.
At the rugby last week, we had 40 Santas come down and watch and cheer, and the week before, or a couple of weeks before that, we had a full ultras group for the men's rugby. And they bought a drum and everything. It was brilliant.
Bit of
needle there.
Yeah, a bit of pushing going on there.
And they're just getting in there, and I think that's good to see. You know, it shows that both sides are going out there and are passionate and they want to win them. And that was poor.
She's lost control of the ball there. It's gone off for a Salford throw.
Salford's getting numbers upfield well, but not using the people that they've got forward. They seem to be playing sort of sideways.
Yeah, they are moving the ball about quite well here, but he's not going to get to that.
That's a good challenge. And they appeal to the referee.
From, Harris Thomas there.
Thomas appeals to the referee, saying that it got a touch off a Salford man before it went out of play, but no dice.
It's thrown in. Well dealt with.
And once again, Salford looking to move the ball away from the less congested areas. Okay.
What a great ball
comes
into the
across.
box, and he's got on the end of
Searching
it.
ball. Oh,
What a chance!
that was Salford's best chance of the game. The ball was floated across. It was a peach of a ball, and it was begging for somebody to get on the end of it. It did, but the shot was scuffed, and it just goes wide of the near post.
Yep, that was Alex Kerslake there with a brilliant ball into the box, searching from 40 yards out, and it just deserved a better connection, really.
That's a wing back getting forward. We've seen that quite a bit this game.
Yeah, that looks as how they line up. It's probably a 5 in defence and a 3 in attack, but yeah, those wing backs for Salford definitely trying to get themselves up.
The Salford backline there kept a really, really rigid line, which you don't often see when you're playing with wing backs.
It's gone out for a MMU throw.
On this near side, another threatening position, but I'd say Salford now have had the best chance of this match.
I would, and I think they'll be absolutely kicking themselves that they didn't make the most of that chance. You know, especially against a team like MMU, as resolute as they are, that might be one of the only chances they get in this game. So yeah, they really needed to take a better having of that chance.
Looking for a long
Great ball in.
Ball safely into the palms of the goalkeeper. He'll be thankful.
Looks like the wind might have taken that one as well. I think that's something he's got to challenge with.
Picked it straight out of the catching practice. As Salford try and build through the midfield. It's a searching ball, looking for the number 11. It's a sprint chase now. And that's great shielding of the ball.
But he's lost it. Great play from the Salford man.
Salford need options now forward.
Switching it out wide. Has he got the beating of him? No.
Good block. Can he get the second ball? No, he can't.
Oh,
I thought that was a
free
foul.
kick. Yeah, it looks like the shot. It looks like the elbow went into the face there.
Bit of a shove there as he went up for the header.
Could be injured, but no concern looks from the bench as yet.
And again, the apologies, the camera freezing there, but this should give us a good angle on this set piece.
If you were on that pitch, Cal, would you be shooting in this position? I think it would take a left footer, really, wouldn't
I'd say, yeah, you'd have to get some mad swaz on that bad boy.
I think it's doable from this range.
For you.
For me, and he's not. He's gone for the short one.
It's a short one.
Well
Trying to take MMU by surprise, but they don't. That's a great challenge.
I think quite predictable, really, for MMU to deal with it. I would have been going for the shot there, but maybe that's why they're on the pitch and we're sat up here.
We're sat up here in the warm. Who's the real winners, huh? Well, I think that MMU will be happy in the first 20 minutes. They've marshalled the game quite well. They just need to find that first goal, and I think then they'll kick on and, you know, get the result that they.
Oh, it's a high foot there from the Salford man. Free kick for MMU. Looks to take it quickly, but no, he's got in the way of it.
The Salford man, bit of gamesmanship there, just standing in the way. And I think Salford's game plan here looks to be to try and frustrate MMU as much as they can when they're not in possession, and then break quickly when they are. So we'll see how that plays out, because
Brilliant run from Dom Robinson into the box, and it's
Great
fallen
ball
to
in.
the back post. It looks like it's just dealt with.
Away.
Big chance again for MMU.
That is
wow.
a poor challenge there from MMU.
Brilliant play by number 10. He's into the box, and is he being
And
brought
that
down?
looks like a penalty.
The referee
says
waves
no.
waves play on here.
And Salford look to build, but again, that poor ball into the box is really proving difficult for them.
It
And it
is.
sort of knocks all their momentum, but you know, that was a good chance, and I'm surprised the referee waved that away.
I've got to say, I've seen them given before,
Indeed.
but the referee obviously feeling like he had a good enough angle on that to
He
decide
seemed to
it
have a
wasn't.
good view of it, just outside the box, and he was quick in his dismissal.
It's far flick now through to Tom Carr. He's played a ball in. And
across
he
the face,
can't
just
quite
too long.
find. Can't quite find Ben Coward at the back post there. But if you are just joining us, we are at the 21st minute mark, and it is 0-0 between Manchester Met and Salford.
The starting 11 for MMU: in goal, Osei. In defence, Robinson, McKenna, Hitchcox and Thomas. Midfield, Baker, Horchurch. Attacking midfield line of Faflick, Mooney and Coward, and up front, Tom Carr.
And I'll give you the Salford team news in a second, but they are on an attack here.
Lost the ball, but they keep the pressure on well there. That's really well done, and that looks like a Salford throw.
It does.
Not given by the referee.
Just run through the Salford team if you are joining us. We've got in goal Davey, a back five of Etchery, Gordon, Krakow, Katcher and Kerslake. Two holding midfielders of Knowles and Abuhab. In attacking midfield we have Curtis, and up front we have Amafule and Isabode. And it's out to Tom Carr on the left. And he's skipped past his man into the box. Is he going to beat another one? It's great defending again from Salford. I've got to say, as much as MMU has caused them problems, they've dealt with every single thing that MMU have thrown at them.
I think they've played quite well given the circumstances. You've got to remember they are coming off a heavy loss, so they'll just be looking to do everything they can not to give the people like Tom
Foul,
Carr,
he's waving play on,
who was caught late there.
Yeah, it seems as though he's caught on the back of the heel. Definitely be a painful one for him.
You'd worry that this isn't. It doesn't look to be too bad. He's sitting back up again, but you'd think that Gareth would be trying to protect him as much as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to. You won't want him injured. Tom Carr, the top scorer for MMU so far this season, with 5 goals in 2 games. That's not bad going.
That's some stat, isn't it? You'd want him in your team.
You would.
It's played around the back line there, searching ball through, cleared quickly, back into MMU hands, but a very
really
poor
badly
ball,
lost.
and now they can break.
They're breaking now, Salford, looking to get players into the box. MMU have recovered well at the back, but the ball's
across. Oh, and that was a great ball in, and it looked to be played through excellently to the advancing Salford man, but he just couldn't get the flick on into the back of the net. But MMU in defence again, all at sea, and Prince Asay was left to deal with that all on his own. Very, very lucky not to be one down.
He is, but there's a Amafule there for Salford break, and
it's out to Tom Carr on the left. And skip past his man into the
looks
box.
as though he should have gone.
Is he going to beat another one? It's great defending again from Salford.
MMU look to break. That's a scruffy challenge, but he comes away with the ball for Salford. Well played.
Tom Carr running back in.
Oh, that's a
back
poor
well.
challenge there. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up a card.
I think he's just showing his passion there. You know, getting back. The
can
foul
see
on him
there.
earlier obviously riled him up a bit.
Manchester Met, in terms of free kicks, are ahead in terms of the ones that they've conceded, but they'll be looking to capitalise on 1 or 2 of them at least.
Yeah, Salford yet to really threaten MMU with these free kicks, but they should be taking advantage of them.
The way they've lined up here, long looping ball into the air, looking for the headed away by MMU, who will hopefully clear and do. Falls out for a throw in. That was well marshalled by the Salford number 11 there.
They had to really contest with the wind with that ball, and I think, you know, if these fouls keep happening in the second half, they could well have some big opportunities.
Certainly, I think when the wind's with them.
Those balls into the box have become a lot more dangerous, but
Yeah.
so the throw in for Salford here. Apologies about the technical difficulties we're having. It is very windy out there.
Cameras don't like it when there's wind.
Yeah, it's very windy out there. Typical November weather.
So it's cut out in the middle of the park, but there by MMU again. Just a wayward ball.
Back in
Goalkeeper looks to
back
send
feet
it.
of Davies here. Good ball over the top.
It's a good ball. Can he get on the end of that? He can. And I must say, been disappointed with the way MMU have dealt with these long balls. You can
They
see
have.
just by the way the camera's moving the difficult weather that they're having to put up with.
Good ball into the box.
Good
It's
float ball
dealt
in.
with. But no, I would agree. I think Salford are playing a bit of a Burnley-esque game, but MMU have hit them on their own with the long ball over the top. It's Ben Coward. He's
Cuts
skipped past his
inside.
man, and he just can't quite.
It's that final touch,
It's
isn't
that,
it?
yeah.
Just can't quite. They can do all the build-up play, but it's getting the ball into the box.
Ball's really being looped up in the air at the minute. I think both teams need to try and get a bit of a handle on the game. It's brilliant. Wow.
It was a poor
Great
challenge.
play there by Nathan Baker to skip past his two-man. Draw a foul for MMU.
The referee looks to be having a word with the Salford man here. Just pulls him for a quick chat.
Something you'd see more on Love Island than on the pitch.
The referee still not done here. He's got people he wants to talk to, and he will talk to them.
Yeah, the players need to be careful. They don't want to pick up a card. I remember quite a few games following MMU last season where we've seen referees not afraid to show the red.
I think that would be
would
quite
change the
high on the team's agenda. Just not keep the discipline. You know, in the games like this, it's end to end and it's quite scrappy. Keep the discipline as much as you can. Don't shirk away from a challenge, but you know there's a way to do it. So
good ball through.
It's
It's like Tom.
to say, it
Lack
comes
of
out.
communication there by MMU.
Very poor, and Salford look to capitalise now. The ball's played back to the
Well won.
midfield.
Mark Faflick now putting on the burners, playing it out to Ben Coward.
Nice long
Looks as if he's
ball.
going to come and give him
Coward's
some support.
Searching runs have been a feature of the MMU game today, but they try and play a long ball, switch the play, doesn't come off, and Salford regain possession on the near side.
Salford out wide now on the left.
Side to you.
Trying to skip past, but it's brilliant play again from
I think
MMU's
that's a
right
goal
back.
kick. Yeah, that was really well done, and just as a Salford player tries to block the long ball, he puts the ball out for an MMU goal kick.
He does, and just to focus on Tom Carr's performance, obviously going into it, the talking point really of the game, you know, with his goals so far this season. It's been a difficult match for him so far, really, hasn't it? He hasn't had anything to really grasp onto.
I think the tactic of playing him up front on his own has really left him quite isolated from the rest of the team, and they're looking for these long balls to find him, and the quality on them is just not there. So they either need to find a way of bringing the attacking players in to him or bringing him slightly further back.
I think Gareth at half-time might have to change up potentially the formation. The formation really doesn't. The formation that is of Salford really doesn't aid Gareth Smith in his game plan. With Tom Carr playing up front on his own against essentially a three at the back, as the two wing backs are taking Mark and Ben on the wings. So yeah, it's been very difficult for him. Brilliant challenge there by John
on that
McKenna.
second ball, Salford man stays down.
Are they going to kick it out? No, they put it into the box, and that's a controversial time to blow the whistle. Was it for offside or was it for the foul?
He might have blown it for the offside.
It was for the
That
offside.
is 3 offsides now for Salford in this game. So they are getting the balls up and they're threatening balls, but they just need to keep MMU playing that smart back line and
Quick
managing
free
to
kick
catch
taken.
their man.
Oh, hold up.
And he's
It's
come away
just
with the
lost
ball
by
there,
Alex
looking for a long
Holchurch.
ball. Looked offside there as well. Ooh, that's a poor challenge.
He's gone into that with his studs up by the look of things. Looks like it could be a worrying moments here for MMU as the captain goes down.
Seems to struggle there, and
To
he's holding his knee, but he's back up on his feet, and he's a tough cookie. I think he'll carry on.
I think he will. And the two assistants down on the pitch, Gareth Smith, head coach, and by the looks of it, AD Luck taking up the assistant role today. I'm sure they'll be hoping that they were stood up here and
Appears to be taking the name of the Salford number 8 here.
yeah,
And will this be the first card of the match?
It did look as if he'd gone into that challenge with his studs up.
I think it will, and it is.
There it is,
Showing
it's
a
a
yellow
yellow
card for number 8 there for Salford.
That number 8 is Hayden Knowles, the holding midfielder for Salford.
Autumn leaves whip across the pitch here at Platt Lane.
Just over half an hour gone here. The game seemed to have evened itself out a bit, but
You're about to get on the end of a long searching ball. It goes
It's a
for a
corner.
corner, and once again, looks to be taken quite quickly. But MMU have few numbers in the box.
yeah, just being told to calm down there by Gabe Mooney by the looks of it. Yeah, I was just saying, I think the game sort of evened itself out over this last 10 or so minutes, but in comes the cross.
Ball comes in.
And John McKenna gets on the end of it, and it's hit the bar. So
And into the goalkeeper's hands. That's twice now that the upright has come to Salford's aid. You might remember earlier in the half they had the ball that came off the inside of the post back to the defender and he cleared it. Well, now it's come back off the post from a header into the goalkeeper's hands. So
And I think spoke about maybe not having a target man. I think Joel McKenna rising brilliantly there, soaring header that smashes against the bar. I think he's definitely got to be the one they look out for with corners, but brilliantly brought down there by Tom Carr. It's Ben Coward now, back out wide to Tom Carr.
nice on the turn. Cuts back across his man. He's now been marshalled brilliantly by Salford.
MMU not panicking in possession, they're quite happy to pass it around, look for the opening. Back out wide again.
They seem to have slowed the tempo down slightly here.
They have, and
It's working for them. As I say that, they lose the ball.
and it's Salford on the attack now. Been held up well by Des Amafule. Back to Kerslake.
Salford, like MMU, quite happy to play it out short. But it is a risk.
Oh, that's a bit of a late challenge there. I think he knew what he was doing. It's increasingly getting more physical, as I thought it might. These two teams from Manchester.
Remember, there is always needle between sides from local universities.
Obviously, a lot of them probably not from Manchester themselves, but they'll know going into it. They want the bragging rights of Manchester. Will it be?
Obviously, Salford fans listening will be quick to jump on the fact that Salford is not in Manchester.
Greater Manchester. Then.
Greater Manchester. As the ball's played in, and he's done brilliantly to get in front of his man there. But Princess A gathers and just takes a little walk around the 6-yard box.
John
Plays it out
McKenna
short.
plays it back out wide to Ollie Hitchcock's there. Harris Thomas, great ball over the top.
Searching ball.
Finds Tom Carr, who's got on the end of it well.
Tom Carr seems to be drifting out quite wide here.
Yeah, it looks as though Ben Coward's assumed the position of striker, but it's
It's inside a great ball.
great
It's
shot.
a good save.
Good job he held that, because Gabe Mooney was ready to pounce on that and follow up on the rebound.
Any rebound there, they would have been one down, but the keeper does well, gets down low, gathers the ball. Looked initially like he'd spilled it, but
Yeah, I think Gabe Mooney will be saying to the keeper, chance would be a fine thing if that fell out to me and I could put that in the back of the net.
another offside there for Salford. They really, really need to just watch the line and keep themselves onside.
Definitely. So it's free kick for MMU here. Ollie Hitchcock's into
Wayward
Alex
pass
Holchurch,
again.
but it's really losing their focus by the looks of things here towards the end of the first half. It's Gabe Mooney.
There's not 30 seconds to go. There's still 9 minutes to play, and
They really need to sort of get a handle back on the game here, because Salford are growing into it.
And this would be the worst time for either side to score in terms of a half-time team talk.
Great ball.
Great ball.
Looks as though
across.
he
Is
was
he
offside,
still
but the
onside?
ref says no.
He
Waves
just
play
needs
on.
support. There's nobody up with him.
Mark Faflick showing his skills here.
He's done well. He's beaten one. He's beaten two. Plays the ball across.
Those balls into the box, they're just not quite
Comes away with
on
only
the
as
end, but
far.
it's going to be a
MMU,
shot.
and that's played a good shot there, and it looked to me to come off the hand of the Salford defender, but I'm not sure.
No, those balls that have been going into the box on this, particularly on this right-hand side, they just haven't quite managed to find an MMU player in there.
The searching long balls have got a lot better, but that may be because the wind is with MMU.
They have.
Shooting down this side of Platt Lane in the first half, but
They have. I think MMU needs to be careful of not overdoing those balls down on the flanks. Otherwise, they could become quite predictable and easy to deal with for Salford, which increasingly looking like it is. But a throw in here for Salford. Mania Ketcher. Oh, is it a free kick? No.
it's not this
Referee
cheap
says
ball.
no. It's a good ball over the top. It's dealt with again.
Well dealt with, and it does go for the Salford throw.
Gareth Smith rolling back the years there.
Lovely little touch.
Still got the old magic.
He'll be pleased. I think he listens to these back, so he'll be pleased he got a mention. As the wind whips round Platt Lane.
You can hear that. It's
Really
deafening.
hear that now. I've just noticed that the Salford players are sponsored by Specsavers. That might become a funny joke later on.
It could do, but it's Mark Faflick on the ball, and he's played a good ball into Tom Carr, who's racing into the
breaks
area.
away.
And is he going to release it one? And
it's
he
a
does, and it's a
goal!
great finish. Tom Carr, the star,
That
with his
man,
6th goal of the
once
season.
again, MMU take the lead. It was a brilliant run up the pitch by Faflick. He just put his head down, burners on, found Tom Carr, who did the same, and he drives the ball past the goalkeeper into the far post.
They
No
just-
chance for any goalkeeper there.
They just couldn't catch him, could they, Cal? You'll see on this replay, I mean, he's
And
just
he's
so
gone.
fast, so fast. He's racing into the box there. And for some, it might look like a bit too wide of an angle, but not for Tom. He's put that brilliantly into the side netting.
As I said about 5 minutes ago, what a horrible time for MMU to score for Salford, because that level playing field that you were going into half time with has now been wiped out, and you've got to change your team talk to say we need to go at them now, which I think they will, and I think this game's going to open up now.
I think it is, and I'm sure it's something we'll touch on at half time, but you know, MMU probably deserving of that first goal. It's a great ball out to Mark Faflick now. He's just managed to keep his footing.
He's having a great game.
He's tried to switch it, and it's fallen to Tom Carr. Is it going to be 2 in
Looks
as many minutes?
Surely for Faflick,
Oh, this is a good opportunity for MMU.
with the wind, a great opportunity for MMU just on the edge of the D.
Unsure of who's going to step up to take this. I'm sure there's a few of them that would fancy themselves, but from experience, it could be Ben Coward, it could be Mark Faflick, who knows. I think Mark's wanting to take control of this one.
I'll tell you who it won't be. Princess.
I'd love to see that, I really would.
He puts it over.
Let's see what free kick stance these lads are having.
Yeah,
Are
I
we going
wonder
to
if
see
someone's going to lie behind the wall.
maybe? Are we going to see a Ronaldo-esque stance?
He couldn't, could he? That's their line-up to take.
Looking like it's going to be Mark. And it is. It's
It
a
is.
good ball. It's a
Good ball.
great goal. Brilliant free
What
kick
a
from
finish.
Mark Faflick. He
The assist turned scorer there.
it's a brilliant free kick. He never looked to seem unconfident. He knew exactly where he wanted to put that, and the goalkeeper just wrong-footed, really.
Wasted no time, and in a matter of minutes, MMU have gone from a stalemate to a commanding 2-goal lead through Tom Carr and Mark Faflick combining well. The pair of them, with Faflick with the assist on the first goal for Tom Carr, and then himself taking control and slapping a free kick into the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Gareth will be really pleased with that, and I think it has somewhat represented their performance. I think they do deserve to be in the lead going into half time.
MMU now, I think, will just look to go at Salford. They're there for the taking now. And as we said earlier, I think MMU just needed that first goal. And, then off they went. And I think that's what we'll see now. Salford quite lucky
It's
as
a
the ball
great
is
ball
released down
again.
the side.
MMU going to make it 3. Surely not before half time. It's a good ball in.
Lofty ball.
It's dangerous. But no, I would say
Kept in by
I
the
think this
keeper.
could be challenging for Salford. They've got to be careful how they approach the second half, because I think MMU are really gonna live off. Salford being quite open and expansive.
As they come down the near side now, Salford play across the face. Looks to shoot. Was it, or was it?
Looks more like a ball into the area, but no one there to get on the end of it. It's easily dealt with and back out wide now.
Good flick by Tom Carr there. And he has dropped back.
Ben Coward.
As we said, he
Spun his
would.
man excellently. He's running through. Is he going to make it past them? He's still got the ball at his
has.
feet. Is he
Needs
going
an
to find
option.
Mark? He's got Mark. Is Mark going to
Gets
use
the
his
option.
right?
Needs to get somebody in the box now. And there's men queuing up at the back post. 1, 2 there, waiting for the ball, but
Just not quite
doesn't
decisive
come.
enough. He needed to make a decision there. Needed to make a decision there as to what to do, but no, it seems as though just took a little bit too long, and Salford have dealt with that. It's good throw in for Salford there, trying to get up the pitch. I think a goal for them.
it
just
would
before
do them
half-time
well
would
now.
do them well, and probably somewhat deserving of at least one goal. They've really missed some big opportunities in the first half, and they'll be kicking themselves that they haven't put them away, because it's looking more and more like MMU might put this game out of sight with one more goal.
I'll be keen to see how they are playing with the wind in the second half, as Tom Carr takes a bit of a tumble there under no real challenge. I think maybe his foot just got caught in the turf as the ball's played back to Prince Asay, and MMU look to build from the back again.
Just less than a minute to go now until half time, unless obviously there's any added time, but it's another ball over the top, well dealt with by Salford.
Salford need to get the ball on the floor there, because MMU have got marauding forwards that like to get on the end of stray balls. They've been doing it excellently for this first half. Will be interesting to see how both sides come out for the second half. Tactically, I think Tom Carr has dropped back. He was very isolated, and since he's dropped back, MMU have looked much better. And I think Salford really need to watch that offside trap.
They do, and I think they're definitely going to be a lot more open in the second half, and that is half time now. The referee blowing his whistle. A brilliant first half of football here at Platt Lane, and we will now look to pass over to our on the pitch reporters of Ed and Tom.
Hi there, welcome back to Matchday Live. The players are just making their way off. I think they're going to go into the changing rooms to get out of these blustery conditions. So, Ed, how do you think the game's gone so far?
Yeah, it's been an interesting game. MMU real dominant early doors, kept the ball well, moving it around, a lot of crosses, a few wayward ones. And Salford got back into the game, and it looked like they actually might nick a couple. A few crosses. There was that Manny Chetri cross, wasted.
Yeah, I think it was about 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it just went wide, and thought Salford might get ahead. They've been really good actually, keeping their intensity high, and then those few late goals, not undeserved from MMU. I mean, they've obviously deserved the goals, they've scored them, but I think 2-0 was a little bit harsh on Salford after that first half. But brilliant. I mean, Tom Carr, what more can you say about him? Another great run, another great goal. That finish across goal was lovely. And then that free kick, I mean, there's not much anyone could do about that really. Lovely cross at other keepers, to the keeper's right. But yeah, it's very interesting and really sparked up in the last 10 minutes of the first half there. It kind of was a end-to-end, little bit cagey.
Let's start with the first half. So the first 10 minutes, MMU started dominating the ball.
Yeah, all over it, all over Salford. They couldn't really get it out. They'd lose the ball and get it back every time. But yeah, that final pass wasn't quite there, a little bit wayward, or Salford players doing very well in defence and getting some good stops in. But they came back into it.
Well, yeah, we noticed in the first 10 minutes the full-backs from MMU were getting a lot of the ball and a lot of space, but that direct ball in behind was leaving MMU quite open.
Yeah, I mean, at both ends though. So every time that Salford did get that forward ball with that little cross, and MMU got a counter, they seemed to have a little bit of space. I mean, Mark Faflick was having loads of joy down the left wing here early doors, and Tom Carr went out wide for a little bit, and he was doing really well down there. Yeah, it was a weird one because you really expected MMU to score in that first bit, and then when Salford started to get into it, you thought, oh no, this is going to be more of a struggle for them, and then they suddenly pop up with 2 goals in about 3-4 minutes. So it's been an interesting half, and I think Salford will definitely be annoyed. 2-0 is, I think, is unfair on them. I don't think they played that bad. 2-1, 1-0, maybe more reasonable. But I think at half-time they'll have things to look well on, and we'll want to continue in the second half, but they're going to have to do something about getting a goal.
I know the commentary team picked up on it, but the little bit of a local rivalry, a few big challenges flying in. I just reckon that'll go on in the second half.
Yeah, there's definitely been some big challenges. I think Hayland Knowles is on a yellow for Salford, so he's got to definitely be careful. There's definitely been a few big challenges. I mean, it's uni football, and sometimes you can't help but get stuck in. I remember Tom Carr had like a little, he kind of got fouled and then fouled someone straight after as well. So I think that a little bit of temper flares, but that's not always a bad thing. If you can keep it in control, a little bit of a heavy challenge here and there is acceptable, but you don't want to start picking up yellows and reds, and especially if they're 2-0 up now. I think they just keep it calm and let Salford pick up fouls instead.
Do you think MMU will be happy with that first half? I know they've gone in 2-0 up, but the formation change, do you reckon we might see anything like that in the second half?
I think that MMU players will be very happy with that first half, but I don't know if Gareth Smith will be as happy. He was talking to me before about, that solidness in defence and not conceding too many chances, and they have conceded. There's at least 4 crosses that were very dangerous coming in just here in front of us as well. That they're probably a little bit unlucky not to score from that. Yeah, that first one that went just wide was really close. So I don't think Gareth will be happy with that, but I think the players will be very happy because they're 2-0 up, and what else can you say about that?
Let's talk a little bit about Salford. So we thought it might be a bit of a domination from MMU in the first 10 minutes, but they started to get back into the game. We've seen that big chance from Maniatri inside the 6-yard box. Where do you reckon they might go forward now in the second half?
Well, it's interesting because I thought before the game it'd be tight. Then the MMU was so good that I thought, oh no, they've got it. They're kind of keeping the way they play. And then Salford really came back into it and did it like a good side. A few of the through balls as well. I mean, there's been a few offside calls that the fans for Salford have not been happy with. They've been a little bit tight with that line. It was quite tough, I guess, to do an offside. But if they keep putting those balls in, those crosses and then through balls, they've definitely got a chance of scoring. If they come out in the beginning of the second half, early chance, early goal, they'll be right back into it. And MMU's got to keep their heads. But Salford have got to stick to their game plan as well.
Defending now against the wind, MMU, change of halves. I reckon that might help with this long ball of Salford's.
I mean, the wind is really affecting the ball out there. You can see that it's just going so wayward. Every time it's a high ball, it starts to curve off a little bit, so it is very difficult to predict. I mean, I don't know if that's better for attackers or defenders. So, it can go either way. Either it can swing straight into the centre-back's head, or it can swing just past him with the wind. Salford have gone for a few of those high balls and with the cross, so it could help them out, and it could make it a little bit more difficult for the centre-backs for you to read it. But I think generally they've been quite solid. I think the number 2 for Salford, actually, I think might be their right back, has made a few cut-and runs that have kind of caught MMU out a little bit. But I'm sure Gareth will be talking about that anyway at half-time, and I think the wind is one of those things that's annoying, but it's for everyone, and you've got to keep your head in the game.
Ben Coward from MMU has been electrifying on this left-hand side. Do you reckon he might be able to keep it up in the second half?
I mean, I don't know what would stop him, really. He was brilliant in that first game we saw here against Duclan. Keeping it up again, he seems so dangerous. Whenever he gets the ball, it's so hard to stop him. He's got pace. He's quite tall as well, which I didn't realise before when I was doing the commentary. He's actually quite a big lad. So I think, especially if you're a full-back, generally not the tallest in the team, that can be quite difficult to deal with. Big lad, strong, fast. So if he keeps it up, I mean, if that front 3 keep doing what they're doing, MMU can always get more goals. That run from Tom Carr for his was unbelievable. Pace straight down through. I think he went past about 2 players and then cross goal. It's very difficult for Salford. You don't want to be too harsh on them because they are playing a good game, but it's tough against MMU side that are playing as well.
Right, we'll send you back over to our commentary team of Callum and Joe.
cheers to Tom and Ed down on pitch side. We are just waiting for both teams to come back out, and the referee very keen, already standing in the centre circle with the match ball, waiting for both sides to come out. But what do you think they'll be talking about in the dressing room?
I think for MMU, it will be a conversation of carrying on what's been going on in the first half, really. I think there's definitely some areas to improve on, particularly at the back, where they've just been losing balls in stupid positions and giving away free kicks that I think might be more dangerous in this second half with the wind on Salford's side. Yeah. For Salford, what do you think the manager will be saying to them?
I think it's a case now for them, really, of damage limitation. I think they've really got to be careful, because MMU are still going to come out firing. They're not going to take the foot off the pedal. They've got to be disciplined. They can't lose their head. They've got to keep looking for those long balls, but they will have the wind with them in this half, so maybe they'll have a bit more luck with them. We will see. I'd just like to throw over to you a possible early man of the match prediction. I'm going, if he has a second half anything like he had the first half, it's Mark Faflick for me.
I think it has to be Mark. He's been absolutely brilliant in that first half. Really dictating the play out on the right hand side, putting in some great crosses, a great assist, and what a free kick. What a free kick. I mean, he knew where he wanted that to go and he executed it brilliantly.
Was a dominant end to the first half by MMU. I think they'll be keen not to come out in a similar way that they started the first half, Salford having a lot of pressure, good balls into the box. So I think as the Salford team re-emerge now, we'll see them run through some last minute warm-ups, but I think MMU will be keen to go at them from the off, get another goal, settle themselves down and see where they go from there.
I agree, and it's not a good statistic for Salford, but MMU not losing a game since going in front for over 20 matches, that is in the league, of course. That statistic won't be filling Salford with much hope as they go into the second half 2-0 down following a goal from Tom Carr, which to a lot of people won't come as a surprise, and Mark Faflick. Tom Carr scoring his 6th goal of the season in just 3 games. So it's a great start to the season for Tom, and to be honest, for the whole squad, I think we don't want to just shine a light on the 2 goal scorers. There has been a lot of good players in the MMU side in the first half.
Just an alternative view for people at home. I don't think you can make it out on our cameras, but there are some strong haircuts in that Salford side as we wait for MMU to re-emerge. Number 11, particularly strong.
Almost a Conor Gallagher.
Was,
haircut.
yeah, very similar. And some half-time stats for you. So, in terms of the shots on target, the corners, MMU ahead on all of those. And in terms of the free kicks conceded, offsides and yellow cards, Salford ahead on those with no red cards for either side.
I think that those statistics there really showing us what a dominant performance, especially towards the end of that first half, it was for MMU. I mean, the shots in particular, they've really been peppering that goalkeeper. And Salford with, to be honest, 2 pretty good chances. I think one of them a really good chance that I think they'll be really annoyed at themselves that they didn't take it, but it's going to be difficult for them in this second half. I think the more they give it to MMU and go at them, they're just going to leave themselves exposed at the back, and MMU are going to take advantage of that. That's just my opinion. What are your thoughts in the second half? How do you think it's going to go?
I agree. I think I can only see one winner out here today now. You know, MMU, the front line's got a taste for it. They will be just as hungry as they were in that sort of last 10 minutes of the first half, hopefully. But I also think that if they give Salford a second of breathing room, Salford have to capitalise. They don't have a choice.
I agree.
They have to come out ready to get this game back on level terms.
I would agree, and Cal graciously reminded me in the first half of it's a Greater Manchester derby, and not a Manchester. Also reminded me of why I'm not taking geography for a degree.
No, neither am I. Don't worry.
So we are about 2 minutes away by the looks of things from the second half. MMU going in 2-0 up after a brilliant first half performance by Gareth Smith's men.
Good solo goal from Tom Carter-Starr.
As he's unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna lose that nickname for the rest of the season.
That's it now. You've signed it to him. and then an excellent free kick from Mark Faflick. So MMU looking to build on what hasn't been a dominant performance, but has been enough to ensure that they go into half-time with a fairly commanding lead.
I would agree. I think, as I said earlier, there's areas to improve on for MMU, but for Salford, I think they've really got to keep trying those balls over the top, because it'll only take one of them to pay off, and they're right back in it.
And I think that will please Gareth Smith, that his side can be 2-0 up at half-time and still have things to improve on.
Certainly.
And I think we're about to see the MMU side take to the field once again for this second half. Coming out of the dressing room here, dribs and drabs.
I think it could be the rugby team by the looks of it.
Oh, is it? Same kit.
Very confusing for
Indeed,
us up
yeah,
here.
same kit.
Ah, no, here they are.
Oh, here they are.
Commentators curse. No, here they are, the MMU team re-emerging onto the pitch. Gareth Smith there.
With his tactics board in hand.
AD Luck just in front of him. Hoping to wish some luck into his players, hopefully,
nice.
in the second half.
Really good.
It was
really
on a plate
good.
for me.
It was. Much like some of the Salford chances in the first half, it was on a plate for you, but you didn't put it wide.
No. So we moments away here from the second half at Platt Lane. You're listening to Man Met Matchday Live, and
You're also watching it as well.
you are watching it, but you're listening to your commentary team of Joe Ward and Callum Scott.
It's good to be here enjoying the warmer climes of the commentary box today.
Certainly, and if you are sticking with us here at Man Met Matchday Live, you'll be hoping to watch a brilliant performance, as it has been here in the lacrosse game, the men's lacrosse game at 5 p.m. as the MMU first team take on Loughborough. I mean, that's going to be a tough one for MMU by the sounds of it.
That is a difficult game. Loughborough are a brilliant opponent in almost every sport. They put so much into their sports department, but it'll be a brilliant result for the MMU men's lacrosse if they can win, as we get underway for the second half of what we're all here for, the football.
Of course. So it's Salford on the ball here at the start of the second half, hoping that they can cause a bit of an upset.
Ball's cleared away there quite well. And just once again, Salford playing in the navy shirt, shorts and socks. MMU in their classic blue shirt, orange trim, blue shorts and blue socks.
And Salford picked up on a loose ball there, and he's gone for the effort, but he couldn't really get anything behind that. It's still with Salford here, out wide on the left. It's well dealt with by Dom Robinson. And it's seems by a few of those wayward passes in the first half of maybe the two kits are causing a bit of an issue for the players.
I think it's a mixture of maybe that and the conditions.
Oh, that's
that did look to be a penalty there, but
referee.
there seemed to be a pull on the Salford man.
No one really throwing up any claims too heavily there for a penalty, but by the looks of things up here,
It did look on our camera like there was a definite pull, but the referee had a better view than us and decided Nope.
So Joe McKenna out on right back. It's a bit of a tussle for possession here. Ball goes out. It's a throw in for Salford. Kind of coming out in the second half as we expected, really.
A long ball comes in onto the head of a Salford man, and I think, will that be a corner? I'm not sure now. Referee says no, but I did think that took a deflection.
Yeah,
And
some
Salford
shouts coming
players-
from number 3 for Salford, Alex Kerslake. Not happy with that decision by the looks of things. But yeah, Salford coming out as we sort of expected them to in the second half. Really throwing it to MMU. You can see the wind there. It's really giving our cameras a good shaking.
I think that's the reason why MMU are looking to play these dead ball situations out short on the floor.
Great ball to Ben Cowdays. Flicked it on.
Looking for the run of Tom Carr, but doesn't find it,
Oh,
and
it's
that's a great
brilliant
bit of
play.
skill.
Really getting himself out of a dangerous situation there.
Releases the
Salford's
Salford man
attack.
down the far side, near side to our cameras. And the referee says again, goal kick. Good defensive work there from MMU.
And by Joe McKenna, who I incorrectly said was playing right back. It's in fact that he can play right back, but today he is most certainly playing centre back.
He is like a Swiss Army knife. Can do it all on that back line. Don't put him in as a striker.
Great analogy there.
Thank you.
Well, actually, by the looks of things, he is a very good ball playing centre back.
He does come forward. He crept forward in the first half to deliver a great ball across the face of goal.
Which Salford almost put in the back of their own net.
Yeah.
We don't want to forget the chances that Joel McKenna created for MMU in that first half. Also, one of his headed chances ricocheting off the crossbar from a corner. That was before MMU took the lead, and quite swiftly after that made it 2. But Ben Coward on the ball here, and he's just
needed
not
to
managed.
get that flick on there, and it didn't come off for him. As Salford take the ball over halfway. Long ball up, looping ball, falls straight through to Osei. Takes a touch and gathers into his hands.
I think
Referee
Salford
wants
have...
a word
Yeah,
about something here.
no, I'm not quite sure what, but is he reaching for a card?
Or is it the ball?
No, he's changing the ball. It's
You
probably a bit
balls,
too flat.
please.
Yeah, I think Salford are going to have to try and come up with a few more ideas in the second half. That long ball over the top, it's coming quite predictable for them.
They appear very two-dimensional at the moment. You know, it's flat.
Tom Carr, the star on the ball.
Oh,
Another
nice.
goal for him today. Playing out wide to Ben Coward.
Good ball to Ben Coward, who will look to get this ball back across the face of goal. Plays it for
MMU
Salford
corner.
man, and it's a corner. And another dangerous set-piece situation. The only difference this time is that the wind is not with MMU here.
And here comes Joel McKenna again, looking to get his head on it for a second time. He's definitely sort of the target man, isn't he? He does tower above the rest of them, and he's not quite got to it, but Tom Carr has, and he's got another one.
He's done it again, and MMU now firmly in the driving seat in this one.
Not who you would expect the ball to fall to, but when it did, he showed his striker's instinct, and he's put it in for yet another goal. That's 2 for Tom Carr today, and 7 in the season. Great celebration there between the two.
Good brace for Tom Carr today. The ball was delivered in. It was a great ball. He rose the highest.
Great camera angle
And
there.
it comes in off the inside of the post, but, you know, what a finish. He can do it off his feet. He can do it off his head. Special talent.
He can do it all. There you go. It's 3-0 to Manchester Met if you're just joining us. We're not too far into the second half, and yeah, MMU really...
Salford really with a mountain to climb now.
Yeah.
You know, they've not looked threatening at all since we rejoined after the half-time break, and that has told, because well, they now find themselves 3-0 down with a long way to go in this game.
Yeah, and I think those balls over the top are just becoming a bit too predictable for MMU. They know that they need to hold a deeper line. So, not sure what's quite happened there, but it's gone out for a throw. Salford with the throw now. It's a long one up the line.
MMU do well there just to marshal the ball back to the keeper, take the pressure off the situation, and they can restart. There's a long ball played across. MMU do
Just a moment of quietness. I can introduce another statistic into the game if you'd like, Cal.
Oh, it's Stats Joe.
It's Salford who finished third in the division last season, winning 6 of their 10 games, narrowly missing out on the second spot to Edge Hill by 2 points. Who, interestingly enough, were the team that knocked MMU out of the cup last year with a great game here at Platt Lane.
I would say it was, but I wasn't there.
No, it's a real compliment to MMU that they've been able to step up to teams in this division, and well, they've proved it today with what's looking like it might be a 3rd win of the season from MMU, 3 in a row, which will cement their position at first in the table.
Top of the league, say we are top of the league. I think it's got to be in part also to the facilities here at Platt Lane. You know, there's excellent training facilities, and you know, it's all here for sports team. A ball comes in there.
Very dangerous ball into the box from a throw there.
Again, poor from Salford, though. They've not looked to threaten as the ball comes in, headed away on as far as the Salford man. It looks to shoot.
The shot
he has,
just
and it
just
goes
wide. Interesting to mention, Manny Acheri, the lad that he's got quite a throw on him, hasn't he?
He does.
Rory
yeah.
Delep. Rory Delep.
Oh, Delep.
Rory Delep-esque. I meant to say.
It is. It's very. I was going to say it's been very effective, but it hasn't. You know, he's got it in his locker, and he'll deliver a long ball in, but there's nobody on the end of it.
Yeah. They do need to utilise that to their advantage.
There seems to be some conversation between the Salford dugout and the referee there. I'm not sure whether there's a bit of unsportsmanlike language.
Perhaps.
MMU now just taking the sting out of this game a little bit, slowed it down. It's gone from a boil to a simmer.
It's great analogies there from Cal. And it's Salford on the attack, and they could be in, but it's really well defended. Really well defended by MMU. They've just
been everywhere.
They have. I think, you know, sometimes defences get overlooked, but MMU have been really, really solid today.
The long ball played. MMU, as we said, struggling with the long balls.
Due to this gale-like wind.
Oh, nice. Gale Platt.
And he joins at Platt Lane.
Oh.
There we go, full circle.
Gales at Platt Lane, I love that. MMU take the ball over halfway, back to the football.
Interesting to note, Platt Lane, the former training ground of Manchester City.
Indeed, and the teams are currently playing on the main pitch.
They are.
As in Main Road.
Main Road, a team that Zach Curtis used to play for, Main Road FC. Made his debut at 15 years old. That's Zach Curtis of Salford.
Just like to say, that was incredible from us. What a transition.
Only the best
Salford
here
now.
at Match Day.
Salford now ready to take a set-piece opportunity with the wind. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that today.
I think this will be interesting. They had quite a few of these set pieces in the first half that probably weren't helped by the weather, but let's see if it has an effect here It's about 30 yards out, I would say. I don't think he'll be looking to have a shot, but
Jostling there in the box, on the edge of the box, players trying to make the dangerous run. It looks to be number 8 there for Salford.
good ball.
There's a
Has he
push
been brought down? Oh, it's hit the post.
Again.
What a great header by the lad at the back. I'm not quite sure who that was, but it was a brilliant header. He was almost left free by his man. He kicking himself, that didn't hit the back of the net.
I wonder if that's a tactic from Salford. You know, somebody went down in the box there and there was quite a lot of distraction as the ball was played into the back line.
It could be, but Salford again on the attack.
This is better.
It's a good shot, and it's gone in. It's a brilliant goal. Really run against the play when you look at the game as a whole, but what a shot.
There by Hayden Knowles, who has been a standout performer for Salford today. MMU just couldn't get the ball out of their feet. He takes on his man, comes inside and releases a quite a low power shot right into the bottom corner, but well, it's 3-1 here now, and Salford's maybe looking to get back into this.
I think they might. I don't want to be too critical of Princess Ayer, and he was a brilliant goalkeeper, but he looked like he didn't really get down to that too quickly there.
No, I think he was caught on the wrong side of the goal, maybe expecting it to nestle towards the opposite corner, but it didn't, and it was a brilliant strike. It just rolled into the back of the net.
It really was, and that's Hayden Knowles. He's been a busy man today. He picked himself up, not just a goal, but also a yellow card in the first half.
That was excellent work there from both the attack and the defence. The attack of MMU to get down that side and shield the ball as well as they did, but the Salford defence then to work that situation into a goal kick. Excellent work.
Oh, and it's a big mistake, but he's very lucky there, isn't he? MMU really being let off with one. Princess Ayer has the ball played back to him, and he's tried to clear it, but it's been deflected and almost into the goal there.
Salford, dare I say it, now squeezing the accelerator pedal, and MMU putting the brakes on.
They are. It's interesting to see how a team reacts when a goal goes in, no matter how well you've played up until that point. And MMU looking as though they might have been panicking a bit, but it's a great ball in. Is it Tom Carr? Is it a hat-trick? He's made it around the goalkeeper, and it's a hat-trick for Tom Carr. Absolutely brilliant.
Carr does it again.
It's Tom Carr, the hat-trick star.
Oh, brilliant. It's 60th minute goal. The ball is played across, and it's just a brilliant ball through. He rounds the goalkeeper. It's too easy for him. And there he is, once again. He
really is levels above these lads out here. He's a great footballer, and almost contradictory to what I was saying before that point, that they didn't deal well since the goal's gone in, but
MMU restored the 3-goal cushion. And just another angle on that Tom Carr goal. Looks to lift it over the goalkeeper as he cuts into the box and realises, nah, I'll just go round him.
Makes his own decisions, doesn't he? But great goal there from MMU. 4-1. 4-1 if you're just joining us in the Man Met Matchday Live, with Man Met playing Salford. That's 4-1 to MMU. We're in the 60th minute, just past the hour mark, and it's looking like it's going to be another MMU victory.
Salford get us back underway here at Platt Lane. 60 minutes gone. And Salford really with a mountain to climb now.
Yeah, they're going to really have to pull something out of the bag if they want to get something from this game. But it's a good ball over the top. He's almost got on the end of that.
Princess Ayer needed that. He needed to take control again of that box.
He did.
He's had a shaky couple of minutes, but races out there and gathers well.
MMU at the back and being pressed well by the Salford front line. Princess Ayer getting the ball up. It's just gone out for a throw in now.
MMU look to take the throw relatively quickly, but nobody on hand to take the ball immediately.
I think we might have to
long throw.
readjust the man of the match performer. It's pretty difficult to ignore a hat trick hero.
Tom Carr, the star, the hat-trick star. His name on the back pages tomorrow.
It's a throw in now for Salford.
Tom Carr there, having a bit of a laugh and a joke with his opposite number from Salford. I bet he's just...
Ball in by Salford, and they're going to get on the end of it now. It's
Good head away there.
going to go out for what looks to be a corner for Salford here.
Good head away by MMU. He rose well. Got a head to it, and as long as it doesn't go in the back of the net, you've done well.
I'd agree. We mustn't forget that Salford, moments before their first goal, hitting the post with a header. So they've definitely got that aerial threat, and they'll be hoping to utilise it here as they.
An interesting set piece tactic playing out there. It's sort of a cluster of 3 on the edge of the box, 2 and 2 inside the box, and then 1 man on his own and 1 man on the goal line.
You're getting it all here, commentary and analysis. The ball's coming in, it's over the top and well dealt with by Mooney. He's one of the smallest players on the pitch, but he's managed to get ahead to it. And MMU on the counter now. It's Tom Carr. He's turned his man brilliantly. Ben Coward. He's got a lot of space to drive at now. Ben Coward past his man into the box. And he's down in. It's surely a penalty to MMU. It is. Easy decision to make for the referee there as MMU are looking like they're going to make it.
An excellent driving run there. And he takes the ball, and you can see he's got the beating of his opposite number there.
Just tripped.
Looks for the shot, but the contact is made, and
bit of a different angle on this. We might be able to see if there is any contact.
Looks to me as though his arms
Ooh,
touches him on the shoulder there, and the contact is made. Gives the referee a decision to make. He points to the spot, an MU penalty.
And it's going to be Mark Faflick to take this one, hoping for his second goal of the game.
It's a big chance here for MMU
to really put the game out of sight. Really,
it is. It would be, I think, too much of a mountain to climb for Salford if this was to go in. They've not generated nearly enough in this second half, and they've paid for it. MMU have been clinical.
Tom looking for his second goal from a set piece today. Sure, his heart's racing as he steps up to take the penalty. He runs up and he's slotted it in excellently. Never looked like he was going to miss, did he?
Goalkeeper dives the wrong way. It's just enough power behind it, and Faflick on the score sheet again.
Fantastic Faflick. There we go. There's another one for you.
Tom Carr, the star. Fantastic Faflick. Any more you just want to get out of your system?
Someone else needs to score to do that. No, it's a great goal from Faflick. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way there.
5-1 now, 65 on the clock, and MMU just proving that this start to the season is justified, and the things that Gareth Smith are doing are quite clearly working. The players that he's got playing for him are in the positions they need to be in, playing tactics that they enjoy and tactics that get the best out of them, clearly.
I agree. I think if Gareth Smith could, he'd be taking out his remote and pressing the cruise control button here, because it's looking like they're going to cruise to a victory.
Another one. Obviously we've seen this side now notch up 3 straight league victories, including this one, because I can't see Salford bringing this back. But stranger things have happened in football.
They have. Looking as if MMU might be making a change here. It might be a bit of an opportunity to get some of those lads on the pitch that don't usually get the minutes. So we'll have to see, but...
A couple of warming up for Salford as well. They really, really need to try something new, because...
that could be a big opportunity. There's so much space for Ben Coward, and it's a good ball in, and well dealt with the goalkeeper, but he really should have looked up and seen how much space was in there, because he had acres of it.
And now Salford try and bring it away over halfway, cut back inside, and they look for the long ball, and they get the long ball. That is just wayward of his man there, goes for an MMU throw, and Salford really do need to start getting on the end of these long balls and making them count, because this is turning into a stroll for MMU.
If you're the Salford manager, what are you saying to your players at this point?
Just want to make a note of the substitution for MMU. There, it's 14 coming on the field.
Come on
10.
for Dan Mooney.
Dan Mooney departs.
Gabe Mooney. Apologies.
Mooney.
What are you saying to your players at this point if you're the Salford manager?
Difficult, I think. But if you let the game get away from you, as they have done,
And as we sort of predicted it would be in the second half, didn't we?
just one that first MMU goal to get them off the mark, and then I thought they'd fly, and that's exactly what's transpired. But I think if you're the Salford manager, you're just saying, right, it's now, you play for putting yourself in the shop window effectively. You know, try and put in as good a performance as you can.
Yeah,
We're not going to turn this around, but we need.
They want to minimise the embarrassment in this
They're playing for pride,
Greater
aren't they?
Manchester derby.
They're playing for pride now, aren't they?
It's a great run.
Bouncy camera.
It's,
Ball across the face, picked up well and played out quickly by Salford, but he's got no options, and he's
he's really putting his arms up in.
gesturing that he has no options in the midfield. There's no movement now to Salford. I think they know now that this game is beyond them, and because of that, MMU can and probably should capitalise with more goals.
Saying that they're on the attack now. It's Etchery. It's a good ball in, and it's just gone wide again. And they just, you can tell that quality that they lack, that MMU do have, and it's in that final third really. Prince Asaya is he going to take the risk of playing a long ball in this wind, or is he going to play it short? He does play it short.
Does, and MMU happy to play out the back.
Ollie Hitchcock on the ball now. Back to Prince Asaya. He's put the ball up the pitch, and he's looked to find Mark Faflick, and he has. He's played a brilliant ball out the back there, but it's a throw in for MMU.
There's a few spots of rain starting to fall now, which will make the ball slick. MMU won't mind that. I imagine that'll play right into their hands as they look to release more through balls for Tom Carr.
Who, just to confirm, is now on 7 goals in 3 games. It's quite a feat. Anyways, it's Mark Faflick, and he's looking to get himself a hat-trick today as well.
The Faflick hat-trick.
It's out to Ben Coward. He's made his way into the box.
That's a
it's
goal.
a great goal for MMU.
Another goal for MMU, and they are really piling on the misery here for Salford.
Looks to be a goal from the substitute that's just come on. It's a great start for him, and it is. It's Ed Bollington with the goal. A great bit of solo play there by Ben Coward. He just weaves his way into the box. Past the defender.
Great Bollington him.
Puts it on a plate for
That was really poor, I'm really sorry.
different angle on things here now.
It's just a wicked ball played across the face of goal, and no Salford player wants to get on the end of it. And
He's had the beating of his man all game, hasn't he?
He plays that offside trap excellently there.
He does.
And, wow, this is turning into something of a cricket score now.
It is.
Salford make a sub now, 12 on.
So if you're just joining us at Man Met Matchday Live, it's 6-1 to MMU against Salford. Just past the 70th minute mark, 20 minutes to go.
I mean, he really turned on the style in the second half. They bossed it, and the scoreline shows that.
I think it could be more. There's still plenty of time to play here. Could be looking at, well, potentially getting into the double figures. Salford will be hoping not, though.
Could they?
Let's see.
Does our scoreboard go up to 10?
It's a good question, actually. Anyway, Salford, the ball into the box. Not really anything too threatening for MMU. Dealt with quite well. Played out for a throw in.
The set play for Salford to try and do something, but they play it short now, round the back line. Defender gets caught on his feet, it's like they're trying to play it back to the goalkeeper. Eventually he does.
Oh, he's
but it's
playing it risky there.
Nearly intercepts, and that was a poor spell of play there from the mistake from the defender. Plays it back to the keeper eventually, who nearly gets caught in his feet and nearly loses the ball. They should be trying to keep it simple, and what they're trying to do is really overcomplicate this game.
Yeah, and they've lost the ball again. It's a really, really
lack of
lazy pass, and
concentration.
it could be a 7th from MMU here. It's out wide. Looks as though it's Tom Carr on the ball. He's playing it into Faflick.
Across the face. Look for the overlap run there of Tom Carr, but he doesn't.
Just takes too long on the ball there, really. It's well dealt with by Salford, and they bring the ball forward now. Plenty of space to run into. He's gone past another one. There's
so quick.
Almost as many attackers in the box as there are defenders.
Some attackers, the cavalry still arriving for Salford.
Is he going to have an effort? He does. It's not really threatening though, is it?
Some shouts there for handball, but no. Surely he won't shoot from there. He's thought about it. And there is a shot release there, blocked again. Salford now trying to work something here. Good ball flushed out wide. And they'll look to get the ball into the box now. Great defending there, jostling his man. Low ball into the arms safely of Princess A in the MMU goal. And MMU can reset.
To be fair to Salford, they're not sitting back or, accepting defeat. They're still going at it, and I'm sure they will until the final whistle. But it's MMU on the attack again. It's Ben Coward on the left, as he has been all game, creating problems. He's looking for support, but he's not really got much going on here.
He's very, very camped inside the box, Salford.
Looks as if it's Tom Carr. Ball sticks to his feet like glue. He's running through everyone. What a run. He's still going.
Still going, but it's cleared eventually, and only as far as MMU though. They will come again. Flushed out wide again. Look for the long ball across. Tom Carr queuing up at the back post, ready to take it.
Oh, is that handball?
That looks to be a hand used there, but referee says no as MMU come again. Salford now.
Can we just talk about that?
Foul.
That bit of dribbling by Tom Carr, it was mesmerising to watch from up here. He's brilliant. Look at that.
The free kick count has levelled itself now somewhat, with MMU and Salford on 8 and 7 respectively.
He's getting another angle.
This is
on
that run.
It's just, ball just does not leave his feet. It's absolutely brilliant.
And it's quite a good last-ditch challenge there from the Salford man, because an inch to the left or right, and that's a penalty to MMU. Another one. So he's done well there to dispossess Tom Carr, but you can't leave him that much space. He will punish you. He has done.
And Gareth Smith just talking to his players now. Probably telling them to remain calm, composed. They don't want to concede another one. They'll be angry enough that they've conceded today.
Look to build out of the back again, both sides.
And it looks as though there's been a substitution for MMU. You'll notice Alex Holchurch is no longer on the pitch, and he's been replaced by number 15.
Also look to be lining up. MMU look to be lining up the number 4 there on the bench. It's a throw in now for MMU.
I think MMU are going to probably not rest on the laurels. They'll want to get as many past Salford as they can, up that goal difference in the league. It's just becoming a game of attack and defence at this point.
Goalkeeper needs thought about coming out for that, but it was good that he didn't, because there was an MMU man ready to get on the end of it.
Probably being deceived by the win there.
Ball bounces now in the centre circle. Salford ball.
It's a free kick for Salford. He's just pulled his man there.
Draws the foul well in the middle of the park there, and they need to capitalise. They need something soon.
Doing this straight back. in attack, and
I thought he was offside there.
It's
But
a good
plays
ball
across
in.
the face.
Oh, it's
in
an
the
own
back of
goal.
the net. It's an own goal for MMU. Salford, that'll be a consolation with 15 minutes to go. 6-2 here, but
you can see Gareth Smith shaking his head. He'll be fuming that his team's conceded a second goal, but here it is again. It's
number
a
8
low
plays
ball
the
in.
cross.
Number 8, the goal scorer as well for Salford. So really having an impact on the game, but MMU will not be happy that they've conceded a second goal.
Salford may look to build on this now, because 6-2 unassailable mountain with 77 on the clock. But every goal that they could get to shave a bit off that would look better and do them the world of good, but they're not going to get it playing long balls like that.
No, I think the manager will be pleased that his side hasn't given up in this game. They've kept going despite the scoreline, and it's not been fruitless. They've found 2 goals in the second half. So a throw in now for MMU as we approach the final 10 minutes of the match.
I think now for MMU it's just a case of no silly mistakes. No silly mistakes, and we
Ben Coward into the
join
box.
action.
He's skipping past him again. He's into the box and it's gone out for a goal kick by the look of things. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We've got a camera that's frozen. Here's another angle for you.
It's headed back immediately, run back by MMU, and they're in acres of space here. That's a cynical foul, but the referee says no.
MMU play on, and looks to be Faflick here. Is he going to find his hat trick? He's skipping past him. He's had a shot and it's not quite strong enough on his weaker foot.
Straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper, and Tom Carr's still down here.
Surprised that he didn't give that, to be honest with you. It was quite clearly a foul, but referee thought not.
Had his legs taken from underneath him from where I'm sitting. And the ball's played up, but again intercepted by MMU. Salford really haven't got a hold on this build-up play.
MMU coming again with
far side there.
With Faflick, who'll be eager to find a third, but it looks as though MMU are going to have a third and final substitution. Number 12 lining up to come on, and who's it going to be to replace? It looks as if it's the star man himself, the hat-trick hero Tom Carr, stepping off to some applause here.
An excellent performance from Tom Carr, and Gareth Smith will just be taking him off so that he can get those individual plaudits that he deserves for that performance.
Most definitely.
He may also have taken a slight knock in that last challenge, but
yeah,
I
potentially
want to look after him at all costs.
Yeah,
so
he's walking around, seems to be all right, but Salford on the ball now, hoping to another goal, but
cut out immediately by MMU. Play the long ball, goes up for an MMU throw, deflection. Some good play there from MMU.
We've seen some good football overall here at Platt Lane today.
On the far side, MMU comes across. Salford played away. Apologies for the dash of commentary there. I was looking through a tree.
So, come back to Asia. Plays the ball out. And Cal, have you been impressed with the quality of football today?
I have. I think Salford have been quite poor in large spells, and MMU are well able to take control. The referee is letting a surprising number of challenges go here.
He is, yeah. Should have been a foul really there.
But I have been
Bollington.
impressed with MMU's style of football. But, you know, for Salford, I think they've done as well as expected when you go behind just before the break and then you come out, and they never really look like getting back into the game. But they've played, you know, they've kept going forward. They've not sat back on their laurels, and I think there will be some positives to take away from them at least, but not a patch on MMU.
I completely agree, and I think it's interesting to see MMU this season playing a similar game to what they did in the division below, somewhat dominating their opponents on and off the ball, and particularly on the scoreline as it sits at 6-2 as we enter the final 9 minutes of the match, and it's MMU on the ball now. Faflick out on the left for the first time I've seen.
He takes a bit of turf with him there and just caught in his feet as Salford take the ball away on that far side, the near side for the camera. Lovely lofted ball over the top, looks for search and run.
Good ball in,
across the face,
dealt with well.
Cleared well by MMU, and substitute here wants to play the ball wide. He's got acres of space to run into now.
Again, is he going to get the goal that he deserves? He really does deserve one. He's unselfishly plays it across the box to the substitute, and it's almost dribbled in there.
Sneaks wide, but the movement there says it all for me. The Salford backline looking tired. Very little movement.
I think they just want to hear that final whistle, really. It's been a tough afternoon for Salford here at Platt Lane.
I'd say so, and I think they'll be glad to make this short journey back.
I think they will, but they've lost the ball again. They've really lost concentration here. They know that it's up for them, really.
It's a long ball played to nobody really, as I say, gathers easily. Very little pressure on him from Salford, as though a bit of a step change from the first half and some of the second half. MMU look for the long ball, and they will get on the end of it with Faflick there.
Back to Ben Coward.
Coward playing the ball around the back.
MMU
just box now.
Just
toying
with them, really, as you said. Having a bit of fun with the ball. Back out to Coward in the middle. He's surely hoping that he'll be able to get himself a goal that his performance has really deserved. Just moving out of the back is Joel McKenna. He's played the ball over. It's easily dealt with by Salford. They're back on the attack.
Loose ball there, gathered by MMU though. Down the middle, they can break. He could shoot, he could pass. He's passed it. MMU are in, but it's a loose touch and it plays straight through to the goalkeeper.
Not a great first touch there from Ben Coward. He's not usually like that, but maybe it's those tired legs out there. You know,
they will certainly start to play a part now. You know, this game has been relentless. It's just what a derby should be. You've had strong challenges going in. You know, both teams running at each other, playing against and towards the wind, as I say. Has to come out and gather. He hasn't. Salford now with a chance inside the box.
And
he could work the angle, but he couldn't.
To be fair to MMU there, despite making the mistake, they've really surrounded him very quickly, not really giving him much of an opportunity to get the shot off. And when he does it, eventually goes wide and out for a goal kick from MMU.
They'll just take all the time in the world with this.
I don't think Prince will be too happy though with spilling the ball there. He's made a few mistakes today.
Yeah, not been his best game, but I think that speaks more for Salford in that the goalkeeper's not had his best game, but they just haven't been able to capitalise.
No, you're right. Wind picking up here to probably help that ball over, which has just found the feet of Ed Bollington. And
good challenge though from the Salford man to take the ball away, and that's what I mean. You know, they've not played badly.
I think MMU are just too good for them.
Yeah, I think MMU have just got that bit extra quality that means that you can play a lofted pass and it'll probably find the man. And if that man is Tom Carr, that ball's going in the back of the net.
Exactly, as we've seen on 3 occasions today.
Obviously, him on a hat-trick.
Challenge is still going in, even with 5 minutes left in this game, and Salford really not being able to do a lot with that.
MMU drive forward again.
Some of these subs hoping to get the names on the score sheet.
Enjoying the bright pink boots, number 12 for MMU.
Harris Thomas out to Ben Coward on the left. Mark Faflick
back across. MMU just taking their time with these passes. There's no need for the urgency.
His feet are so good. He's in the box.
It's a loose challenge. There's nobody on the end of that, and Salford can play the ball away. They look to break quickly.
I've got to say, Ben Coward's performance today has been very unselfish at times. He probably could have got himself a couple of goals, really, but he's always looking for that man when he gets into the box. There seems to be a bit of an altercation with the referee here. I think he's given a free kick to MMU, who the Salford players don't really agree with his decision making.
Crowded around the referee there. It is an interesting one. I'm not sure what the referee waving away the appeals now, but I'm not too sure.
I think a bit of frustration's creeping in now.
Certainly, and to be fair, I'm impressed that they've kept the frustration levels fairly low until now.
I would agree. Only one card in this game by the looks of it.
It's been a well-managed game from in terms of a tactical perspective from MMU. I think they've gone out and done exactly what they needed to do. In frustrating Salford in the early exchanges, marshalling play as well, and using the weather to their advantage.
Certainly, and it's a free kick for MMU now.
Furious shake on the camera.
Around 30 yards out, I would say, maybe a bit even further than that. But Nathan Baker, the captain, stepping up to take it. Do you think he might fancy himself? No. It's ball into the box.
Salford try, move the ball away, and in the fracas with the referee there, a Salford man picks up a yellow card. I'm assuming for dissent. That looks to be offside. Princess A gathers anyway, but it was a long lofted ball with the wind over for Salford, but they couldn't get over the top, and it looked to have made the run just a bit too late as the MMU line squeezed. Now Coward again. Can he take on his man?
Back to Faflick. It's dropping deeper and deeper as the game progresses. Only 2 minutes left in this one.
Clock ticks down now, and as we head into the closing stages, it's MMU in the ascendancy once again. Ball comes across, little flick on, but it goes over the top. Now for a goal kick.
Any other point in the match, and would be talking on that as a massive missed opportunity. Really should have done better with that, but I don't think MMU will be too disheartened that they haven't made it 7.
And as we're ticking down the closing stages here, I'd like to ask you for your man of the match, even though I'd say it's fairly obvious.
As tight as it is between Mark and Tom, I would have to give it for Tom. He's brilliant, isn't he? It's another hat-trick, second hat-trick in 3 games. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tom.
When he's in that sort of form, there's no arguing that he can be and has been the best player out on the pitch, but that isn't taken away from players like Faflick, Coward, and I think MMU have played excellently, but those have been my standout performers.
I think so, and also a special mention to Nathan Baker and Alex Holchurch, who's off the pitch now, but
We'll just name the whole team.
They've done brilliantly in that holding midfield position, sort of dictating the play and winning the balls in midfield.
Dom Robinson, John McKenna, and Ollie Hitchcockson.
Let's name them all.
Harris Thomas and Princess A, just for being there.
There we go. The graphic up on the pitch now.
Tom Carr, player of the match, sponsored by the What Pod.
Bit of a shout out there. Plug.
Anyway, bit of a break in proceedings now as we come into the 90-minute mark. We're now in additional time as Salford look to take what will be the final free kick of the game. Lofted ball up in the air.
Surely that's got to be it, and it is.
We'll say.
The referee blows his whistle for full time as MMU win 6-2 against Salford, extending their run of 3 wins in the league.
Dominant performance here from MMU. They looked in the first half to be jumping ahead, but it wasn't as cut and dry as it was in the second half, with MMU putting their foot on the accelerator pedal and taking the game away from Salford there.
We can just see the players shaking each other's hands at the end of what's been a brilliant game here at Platt Lane. And
as we wait for the full-time stats here, so MMU on top in terms of the total shots and the shots on target. That's a poor stat from Salford, 8 shots but only 3 of them on target.
definitely be something that they'll really be hoping they can work on in the coming games, because they did have some big opportunities in the game, particularly in the first half. But as we go down the stats as well, there's 10 free kicks and 9 for Salford, which sort of shows how physical the game has been.
4 offsides as well. I think that MMU backline marshalled them very, very well, and that was a top defensive performance from them.
I was completely agree, but it's been a great day here at Platt Lane, in which we have seen MMU win 6-2 against Salford, cementing their position in first place in the league. And me and Callum would like to thank you for joining us for this coverage on Matchday Live. And if you stick with us, later this evening we have coverage of the men's lacrosse at 5 p.m. as MMU First take on Loughborough First.
Yep, and that's it from us both here in the commentary box. We'll be back soon with post-match interviews after this game. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Hi there, welcome back to Matchday Live. I'm joined now by Manny Etchery. Not a great result today. How do you think it went?
Obviously, like you said, not a great result, but I think it's a very even game. I think in that first half, we definitely did dominate MMU. They got 2 goals towards the end, and I think that's been the story of our season so far. We've played some good football, but we've not been able to put our chances away. And I think if we want to obviously do well in this league, and we want to obviously stay up and hopefully even win the league, we need to start putting our chances away. But apart from that, I can't really fault the boys. I think we all worked hard, but at the end of the day, MMU took their chances and we didn't, so there's nothing more I can say about that.
Yeah, looking back on the first half, we felt that the score going in at half-time 2-0 down didn't really truly reflect the Salford performance in that first half.
No, I did not one, but I think we completely dominated that first half. I think even myself, I had 2 chances there to kind of put the ball away, but I don't know, panicked at the last minute. So I think going in 2-0 down, our backs were already against the wall. So to come out and try and rectify 2-0, come back from 2-0, it was always going to be difficult. But again, I can't fault the boys. I think we put in a good shift and we worked hard. And at the end of the day, like we said, MMU took their chances and we didn't.
Moving forward, how do you reckon your coach will implement a game plan going into next week's game?
I think, you know what, I think with keeping the ball wise and possession wise, I don't think there's much we need to change apart from maybe the final ball in the final third. That killer pass to kind of get a shot on goal or a chance on goal. I think that's what we're lacking right now to be able to put our chances away. But I just think we just need to work as a team, just get used to each other, get used to each other's runs. I think a couple of times the ball was played and the player's not making a run, so we're not really on the same wavelength. So I just think the more we play with each other, the more we'll get used to each other, and then we'll be able to start scoring a lot more goals.
Cheers, Manny. Thank you very much.
No problem, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
Best of luck for the season.
Yeah. I'm joined now by Adi Luck, coach for the MMU football team. Nice to meet you, Adi.
Okay, nice.
Not a bad result. Plenty of goals. How do you reckon it went?
Great result, to be honest. I think we were the better team throughout. We expected them to come here and give us a derby. It's a local derby, isn't it? Manchester versus Salford. But I think we came out on top. The quality came through, and I'm really happy with the result.
2 sloppy goals, really. Maybe not what you wanted to concede. How do you reckon you'll improve on that?
Definitely. I think we need to tighten up at the back. A few little mistakes that we put on ourselves. We gave them the chances to score 2 goals. But I think with more minutes, these mistakes, we're going to cut them out. And next week, we're going to take out all the mistakes.
Going into next week, cup game, how do you reckon you'll fare up against UCFB?
I think we've just got to take it as every game as it comes. I think no team can play when we play. When we play our football, there's not many teams that can challenge us. So I think we've just got to go any game, treat any game as if we're playing top of the league and play our football, and I think our quality will show through.
Is it a cup competition you think you can go far in?
I definitely think so. I don't see why not. I think last year, we went out first round. So I think this year we've got more eyes on the cup and want to have a bit of a cup run.
Cheers, thank you very much, Ada.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined now by Mark Faflick. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Tom Carl get a lot of the plaudits with his hat-trick, but
Yeah.
2 goals and an assist
Yeah,
for you today. How do you think it went?
Yeah, I thought it went well. I don't know about his plaudits, to be honest. I think that should be coming to me. But yeah, he's a good player and he can go far. But yeah.
2 goals from set pieces. Is it something you've been working on in training, or?
Now that free kick, I think was a bit of a fluke, to be honest. I normally put it the other side, but yeah, the penalty obviously ends us the penalty at the end of the day.
It seemed like there was a lot of space out wide, especially for the full-backs for MMU and the wingers. You seem to get a lot of the ball. Is that something Gareth wanted to implement in his game plan?
Yeah, obviously, I think they set up at 3-5-2 first half, and I think it was a bit tight for me because the lad was like pretty much marking me from the start. And then second half they switched to 4 at the back, and I think that benefited us. Obviously, we got a lot of time on the ball out wide, both me and Ben. So obviously, I think that's where most of our play came from, really.
Yeah, cup game next week. Is it something you're looking forward to? Do you reckon you'll have a good run in it?
Yeah, I think we're going to do well in the cup this year. Obviously, we've got a strong side, probably a bit stronger than last year in certain areas, especially when we've got our full strength team out. Playing youth FB4s, is it?
Yeah.
Next week. Yeah. I think we should dominate them next week, and I think we'll get the win.
Okay, Matt. Best luck for the season.
Cheers, mate. Nice one.
No worries.
Cheers, lads.
Bringing in Ed now.
Hello.
How did you think that game went then, Ed? A little bit like how you predicted in the first half, but game seemed to get away from Salford in the second.
Yeah, that second half really went crazy. I mean, 3-1 almost straight away from Tom Carl, not unexpected. Then Salford get the goal back and you're thinking, oh, maybe they can build from this and have a bit more of a game. And they even had, I think there was a mistake from the MMU keeper that was very close to going in as well. And you know, if it had been 3-2 then, I don't think it would have ended 6-2. I think it would have been much tighter. Tom Carl, another hat-trick. The penalty, great run from Ben Coward to win that in the first place. He's done very well. Yeah, Faflick, well, saying that he wasn't much of a set-piece specialist, but he definitely is when he scores them like that. Good game overall. Substitute as well, with that little run from Ben Coward straight across the box. Easy tap-in, lovely finish. I think the boys will be very happy. I mean, they won't be happy about seeing the goals, but they'll definitely be happy if they can keep scoring, and they should do well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and if you liked what you saw from our hat-trick hero Tom Carr, you might be able to catch him again at one point on Matchday Live. But if you're into some lacrosse at 5 o'clock, it's MMU take on Loughborough.
time they're kicking off?
What, rugby?
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, is it? Oh, cheers. Oh, I'd like to watch that.